Oh, yes! Yes! It is real. Elden Ring Shadow of My Bulge, because that's how erect. Oh yes, you sweet cutie pie that's watching this video. The Elden Ring DLC trailer, or should I call it Elden Ring 2 trailer, because that's how big this fucking DLC is. Literally just happened. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it now and then come straight back here, because we're going to be breaking down the entire trailer. And of course, just like at the end of your 3 a.m. Edge sessions, at the end of this trailer, we got that sweet, sweet release date. That is right. This bad boy is coming out June 21st, 2024, bitch. And now before we jump into the breakdown of this trailer, make sure you hide that bulge in your waistband, because this trailer's got you feeling some type of way. Now, we knew that Miquella was going to play a pretty big role in this DLC, but right off the bat, we're already here in Mohgwyn Palace, and some dude is talking about Miquella. My guess right here is that this guy is actually here to save Miquella, or maybe revive him. From the rest of this trailer, it definitely seems like all of this takes place after the events of the base game. So maybe it's time for Miquella to come back to life. And right in the next clip, they just come at you like, boom, dude, look at how sick this looks. The sprawling road. This might be 2 dungeons, because I do see 2 castles up here on these cliffs. The one on the left seems to be absolutely gigantic, while the one on the right maybe is a little bit of a smaller one, kind of like a Castle Morn type of deal. The next clip, we could see the player running through these wheat fields with the Ghost Grave headstones, which is clearly the same area as the screenshot. And then this next shot, like, look at this, dude. Like, look at this. How do they even do this? I don't understand how this just came out of somebody's mind. Like, look at this. We got the Erdtree, which looks absolutely destroyed and oozing juice all over the fucking place. And then we got a blanket. It looks like there's a massive blanket over the entire world. I mean, this shot alone is just mwah. Alright, the next few shots, we got the player standing in various locations. Looks like they're showing off a couple new armor sets, maybe some new weapons as well. But here's the interesting spot right here. We see this purple cave with all these flowers all over the place, and what looks like an NPC laying on the floor sleeping. This might actually be Saint Trina's lair. In the next area, we could see the players walking through this bluish throne room with somebody eerily sitting on the throne right in front of them. But if you look at the top, you could see these purple chandeliers, which look like they may be made out of the crystals from the previous shot in the sleeping cave. Now, there's actually some evidence to suggest that Saint Trina and Miquella are actually the same person, mainly the 2 flowers which seem to echo each other in the design. I'm talking about both Trina's and Miquella's lilies. So we got what is probably some sleepy time areas. We got Miquella in an endless slumber in the main game. And then we got this giant blanket covering the entire world. So just my quick theory here is that the DLC actually takes place this sleepy dreamscape inside Miquella's head. And the giant blanket in the sky represents him being asleep in his cocoon. That's just a theory. Now they got this half-a-second clip of what looks kind of like another poison swamp, dude. Like, I wouldn't put it past them to add another poison swamp, but maybe this is another mini dungeon. They're showing off a couple of new areas here. The pot room, more lava areas, and then, oh my god, dude. Look at that shot. Hold on a second, let's go back there. We got this bridge leading up to this massive castle. This is surely another Stormvale-sized dungeon. And what's interesting about this castle is about halfway up, you'll notice the whole thing is just dark and in ruins. Like, it looks like there's floating debris, just like in Farm Azula up here. And then the last thing I point out about this shot is, if you look in the sky, you could clearly see these massive drapes just flowing across the sky. Just to call back to what I was talking about earlier. And then right here, we got what looks like the first boss reveal, and not gonna lie, kind of looks like the Wicker Man from Berserk. And then we got this guy right here, which I've decided to name the Suck Me Off monster, and he's just sucking on the player's head. Okay, now we clearly got the second boss reveal of this DLC. He does kind of remind me of Malekith. Now, this boss fight looks like it's going to be pretty difficult because he's got these massive leaping moves, fucking smoke breath and lightning shit coming out at you the entire time. This one is going to be a skill check. Right here, we got the first glimpse at this femboy spear-holding snake man who's in all the promotional art, so he must be a pretty big deal, but we'll see about that when we get to the game. Alright guys, they just put out a tweet showing you could buy this dude's helmet, and it turns out his name is Mesmer the Impaler. Fucking impale me, daddy. Now before we continue, if you are liking this video so far, please consider clicking the like button because it actually does help YouTube know to show this video to more people. Okay, thank you. Now let's get back to the trailer. They're showing off a couple new areas and weapons, including this pink butterfly spell and what looks like a martial artist type Ash of War. Pretty sick. Also, who doesn't want to throw a fucking giant pot over their head? Okay, so now we got this cloaked knight shooting a repeating crossbow, which I think might be new for this game. This armor might have to be the new Guts cosplay armor. We got some barehead incantations, fighting in a blue flowery field, which kind of reminds me of the magical area around Ronnie's tower, at least based on these blue particles in the air. So we got a couple things here. The first thing is this tree sentinel type boss, or at least that's what I think it is. It's this guy riding a giant boar with also a giant spear. Looks pretty sick. And then right here, we got a giant rhino hippo that can shoot fucking talons out of its back. It looks like it's just going to completely destroy you. And this looks like it might be one of the more difficult enemies that just roams around, like the lobsters in Liurnia. And if that's the case, prepare to be humbled. And then real quick, we got a boomerang-throwing skeleton man riding a disabled horse, your grandpa pulling a stick out of his skull, and then what may be the final boss of the DLC, because we got that femboy snake man whose name is Mesmer the Impaler, and he's come to impale you with his thick rod. And the last bit of this boss fight that we get to see is the player leaping into the air and sprouting the wings of a phoenix. I mean, like, it just doesn't get any better than this. Right now, post title screen. There he is. There he is. Whew. I'm excited to see what that's all about. Mikola himself in the flesh. And that, boys and girls, is the entire trailer. And all I can say is, wow. I mean, wow. Before this trailer, everyone was like, let them cook. Let them cook. Dude, I think they might have cooked too long. What we asked for was a little extra snack. And what we got was a Michelin 5-star 18-course meal that after you're done, leaves you looking like Godskin Noble after he does his inflating ball move. And by the way, the pre-orders are literally live right now. You can get the Impale Me Daddy statue or the Impale Me Daddy helmet, whichever you so please. But the DLC on its own costs $40 US. And if that doesn't tell you that this DLC is a dummy wummy yummy in my tummy thick beefcake, then I don't know what will. Let me know in the comments, do you plan on pre-ordering this right now? Are you going to get one of the special editions, or maybe just wait till it comes out to see the reviews and then buy it? I mean, there's a lot of people that are against pre-ordering games nowadays, but if there's anything you do pre-order, it's going to be this. If you watched this video, thank you very much, and if you liked it, please leave a like and share it with a friend. And as always, have a good one.